We have a few presentations this evening. We were supposed to receive a presentation from Senator Leland Yee on the state of the state, but unfortunately the senator could not make it this evening.
Oh.
Why don't you go to the podium and tell us that so that we get it nice and loud.
I'm Claudia Lopez, and I represent Senator Leland Yee, and he just wanted to apologize. He's still at the state capitol addressing SB 981. I know some of you are very well aware of that, and so he will be coming hopefully soon.
All right, thank you very much. Item B, we have received a presentation from San Francisco International Airport staff regarding planned security measures and maintenance efforts for the west of Bayshore open space and habitat area.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Widener. I'm the Government Affairs Manager at San Francisco International Airport, and I'd like to thank you, the Council, for the opportunity to come and give you a very brief overview of some work that San Francisco International Airport is doing to maintain our west of Bayshore property. As you may know, San Francisco owns and has a responsibility for maintaining a large portion of open space to the west of Highway 101. It borders both Millbrae and San Bruno, excuse me. About 600 residents in the area between the west of Bayshore area to the west to El Camino received letters about 6 weeks ago informing them that we would be stepping up our work to maintain the area. And we offered to come to the council at that point and give you a little bit more detail, which I will do today. So let's see if I can do this. Okay. So just a brief overview of what exists in the area, the west of Bayshore area. It's home to wetlands, which includes reclaimed shoreline, seasonal wetlands, and uplands. It also houses a protected habitat. It is a protected habitat for 2 species, and because of that, we have a recovery action plan that's been approved. It's also a utility corridor. As you know, there's PG&E substations, electrical, and gas lines. It is home to some BART facilities, and it has an SFO water main and drainage pump in the area, as well as the North Bayside Force Main sewer line. Again, just to show you the codes that require that we, as the airport, have the responsibility to protect the habitat and the population, specifically of the California red-legged frog and the San Francisco garter snake, both of which live in that west of Bayshore habitat. Here are 2 pictures of them. The governing agencies that require us to do work to make sure that these animals are not threatened or harmed are the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the California Department of Fish and Game, and the Regional Water Quality Control Board. We, the airport staff, need to coordinate with those 4 agencies and show them what we're doing in the area to make sure that the habitat is protected. So what are we doing currently to protect the habitat? As I mentioned, we have for quite some time and will continue to work on the already approved recovery action plan. We will continue our biological monitoring to determine that the species, to basically show us that the species are not just living there but not being harmed and thriving. We've already installed some no trespassing and sensitive habitat signs. There had always been some signage, but it wasn't very consistent, so we've gone in and made sure that it's really obvious when you go there that you're not supposed to be there. We've installed new locks on all of our gates so we can monitor the various people who need access. As I mentioned, it does have a lot of activity out there. We've posted speed limit signs throughout the property for the authorized vehicles, and we've increased patrols and enforcement to prevent unauthorized entry. Most importantly to you and your residents is the fact that we will, in the future, be putting up some fencing to further protect the property. We found that some of the residents that do have fences that border that west of Bayshore property actually have gates that open up out onto it, which, as you can imagine, some of those agencies aren't real happy about. So we will be, in the future, I know that's going to be something you'll want to hear more about, and I brought you some pictures of what that might look like. And of course, we will continue with the vegetation and thinning removal of some of the underbrush and things there that's important to maintain the flood control. So I know that's also something that's very important to your residents. So here's a picture of what the fencing may look like. I can tell you that it might not be exactly like that, but you will be able to see through it. We're going to try and make it as subtle as possible. We're not talking about a concrete wall or anything with, sharp objects at the top. We're going to try and make it as subtle as we possibly can. We've also established an email account at the airport that goes to our community affairs staff. Should your residents have specific questions that we can answer, something that I'm not able to answer for you today, we staff this, and you can always feel free to send any specific questions that people might have for you to that, and we will get right back to them. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any general questions you might have.
Any questions? No? Mr. Rico, you have a question?
Robert Rico, I just had one question. In the past, you brought goats out to eat the fire break, and I got some communication this afternoon from Mr. McCarron, and he said they're going to bring them back again. In the past couple of years, they've eaten halfway across to wherever instead of the 15 or 20 feet, so hopefully they will be curtailed or restricted so that they eat closer. And last year that wasn't done until after the 4th of July, and that was of concern with potential fireworks.
I did see your comments, and I believe Mr. McCarron wrote back to, and Mr. McCarron just walked in. So I will let him, if there's something you want to add to that.
You did get my comments. We'll work with the goat herder to do a better job maintaining that area, and our apologies. So, any other questions for us?
No, I think if we do, we'll get them through staff and get them written down and get some answers. I know Mr. Rico had quite a list of questions. He lives right there, and they were very well put. And some of the answers were great, and some were great, but it wasn't what we wanted. So we'll be getting back to you through staff on some of those items.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The members of staff, once again, thank you on behalf of the Airport Commission and the Airport Director for allowing this opportunity to share this information with you.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, item 4C, I'm going to present a proclamation declaring April 22nd to 28th as West Nile Virus and Mosquito and Vector Control Awareness Week. Mr. Rico is our representative, and I'll read a couple of the whereases in the bottom here. And Mr. Rico is our representative on the Mosquito and Vector Control Awareness Committee with the council, for the council with the County of San Mateo. Whereas professional mosquito control based on scientific research has made great advances in reducing mosquitoes and the diseases they transmit, and whereas the San Mateo County Mosquito and Vector Control District work with other public agencies to reduce the pesticide risk to humans, animals, and the environment while protecting human health, and whereas the West Nile Virus and Mosquito and Vector Control Awareness Week will increase the public's awareness of West Nile virus and of the importance of integrated management in controlling mosquitoes and other vectors in San Mateo County. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the city of San Bruno that the week of April 23rd through April 29th, 2012, be designated as West Nile Virus and Mosquito and Vector Control Awareness Week in the city of San Bruno. So, Mr. Rico.
Honorable Mayor, Council, and City staff, I want to thank you for proclaiming the week of April 23rd through the 29th as West Nile Virus Awareness Week here in San Bruno. As the San Mateo County Mosquito and Vector Control has a proactive program and is consistently on the lookout for mosquito larvae. Our goal is to prevent adult mosquitoes from ever becoming a problem for residents. The district wants to thank the City of San Bruno and many of your staff in insisting in getting our information out to your residents and being additional eyes on the lookout for dead birds that may be carriers of West Nile virus. Residents can call the statewide number 1-877-WNV for West Nile virus bird, B-I-R-D. When they find freshly dead birds for pickup, we're not interested in birds that have been squashed by vehicles. And should residents find that they're being bitten by mosquitoes, they can call the district directly at 344-8592, and we will send someone out to inspect and take the appropriate action. And I want to thank you again for your constant support of the district's efforts for your residents.
And thank you for all the time you put in on our behalf. Thank you. Item 4D is we'll present a proclamation declaring May 5th, 2012 as Earth Day in San Bruno. And there are a number of whereases here also, but we'll read a couple. Whereas the City of San Bruno annually conducts Operation Clean Sweep, in which thousands of San Bruno residents, employees, and guests have participated in projects such as litter control, landscape improvements, and general maintenance of our public spaces. And whereas the City of San Bruno is committed to the preservation of our environment and encourages its community members to participate in projects and receive education to protect and enhance San Bruno's environmental assets. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of San Bruno hereby proclaims May 5th, 2012 as Earth Day in San Bruno and encourages all residents and businesses to help make San Bruno a greener, healthier, and more sustainable community. And along with that, we have a couple of things that are going to happen on and around Earth Day. The 15th annual Operation Clean Sweep, as was said earlier, sponsored by the Beautification Task Force, will begin with registration at 9 a.m. Volunteers will be assigned to morning litter cleanup or other special projects in the community before enjoying a barbecue lunch provided by Recology of San Bruno. Also, Streets Alive, Parks Alive is sponsored by the City of San Bruno and the County of San Mateo. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., this program will feature demonstrations of community classes, programs, and activities to promote health and active living. And Earth Day inspires environmental awareness and encourages the conservation, protection, and appreciation of our natural resources. Displays will be on site throughout the morning to show how residents and businesses can help make San Bruno greener, healthier, and more sustainable. And for more information, you can contact Randy Schwartz, 616-7181, and I will present this to... Go ahead. I'll present this to Irene O'Connell. There you are.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And I will take it. And if I may,
Yes.
I have a couple things to say, and I'm very proud to be part of this group. We have some volunteers that come and work very, very hard all year long to do different things to help beautify San Bruno. One of the exciting things we are doing that's different this year, which will not happen on May 5th, but will happen on May 12th, if you notice as you travel down El Camino at our fire station there's a plot of land that's being cleared that will be planted with xeriscaping, drought-tolerant, low drought use plants, and it's going to be a showcase and a pilot project for San Bruno. It takes a couple of years for those types of gardens to flourish and look very attractive. The first year they look kind of funny, but after that they look great, and they use less water, and they help percolate the water that does fall down into the groundwater, so it helps clean that all up. So if you want to participate on that's what this is. It's sponsored. It's a free workshop. It's on May 12th, and it's from 9 to 12. And if you go on the San Bruno website, you'll find out all about it. So it's very exciting. It's a hand-on project. You can do it, learn about it, learn what plants work in your area, and go home and do it in your own yard. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you. One more presentation, and that's the presenter proclamation declaring April 28th, 2012 as Tan Foran Assembly Center Memorial Day, and the month of May as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in the city of San Bruno. And I will not present the proclamation this evening because Council Member O'Connell will present it at the event this Saturday morning at Tan Foran. So was anybody here expecting to say something? Could you please step to the podium? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Wien and the City Council of San Bruno. As you know, 70 years ago, on April the 28th, was the opening day of the Tan Foran Assembly Center, where 8,000 Japanese Americans, majority of whom were American citizens, were held before they were sent to internment camps in the interior of the United States. On April the 28th, from 10 to noon, we are going to have a commemorative ceremony and unveil the photographic exhibit that we have put together to show the pictures of what happened then. And also, Mr. Paul Ketagaki, who's a photographer of the Sacramento Bee, has been finding the people that were in the original pictures and taking their pictures and telling their story of what happened in the intervening years. I think it's a very moving exhibit in terms of not only the history, but telling the story of the people that were affected by the evacuation. So we'd like to invite all of the city of San Bruno to come to the event, and the exhibit will be up through the month of May at the San Bruno BART station, which is on the original site of the Tanforan Assembly Center. I have some spare posters that BART is putting out, and they will be on their cars. If anybody would like one of the posters and a short description of our committee's efforts, I'd be more than happy to share it with you.
Sure, why don't you leave those with their city clerk? We look forward to seeing you Saturday. I know there's a number of events, as you heard earlier, about Relay for Life, so I'll be floating around, and the vice mayor will be floating around, and the rest of the council. So you'll get the presentation this Saturday presented to you right there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.